I had one earlier. I'm going to shelve that one. I've calmed down a little bit. But I got an email. This is from a guy named Taz. Subject: E.T. leaving Cowie. The real reason.
Here we go. Is your rant this dude's email, or is your rant how stupid this guy is?
It's both.
Okay.
The real reason Eli to Yamaha. He ditched the Kawasaki. How many blended bottom ends would you tolerate? Tomac pushing a seized-up machine in mid-moto was an issue that never got a good fix. The only man to overload a factory 450 motor, not abuse. Bogging the motor on a Supercross short-faced triple spelled Tripple. They put a new clutch in every time he sat on the bike. My guess is they factory clutch kitted that thing, and Eli's level of clutch dumps would not last an entire moto. Less than 100% mental confidence going behind the starting gate. It's bullshit in his mind. It was way too much Tomac for that bike. They never even started the race with 100% mindset. The Yamaha built 2 times more solid. Remember how Kawasaki lightened the entire motor package everywhere for a few pounds combined weight. Taz has the answer. Where do these people come from, Cade? Like, I understand being a fan of the sport and having an opinion from the outside. I have opinions about the Toronto Maple Leafs from things I read. You know, I follow Toronto Maple Leafs. I read the sports sections. I watch all the games. I have my opinions on stuff. But generally, I read the writers that are plugged in, and they kind of tell me what's going on with this player or that player. This guy says that the bike let him down. He won 3 outdoor championships on a Cowie KX450.
I mean, I feel like other people on your show have said that the bike let him down and he didn't have total confidence in it anymore.
But the bike, that's a DNF that just happens. That happens. This is not, something that where Eli, he says, too much Tomac for that bike. Like, it was a massive mud race at Loretta Lynn's. You weren't there, but it was a complete shit show mudder. Bikes were breaking left and right, and Eli's was one of them. Mm-hmm. It happens. It's a motorcycle in the mud and the water.
How many factory bikes blew up that day, though? Factory bikes.
A ton.
450s.
Not so many. Not a ton. But it happens.
I guess. When you're a man at that level, though, you expect excellence.
You do.
But at the same time, you can't ride a bike the way he rides a bike in the mud.
Thank you. He's massively hard on his clutch.
Totally.
They change it all the time because he just clutches the shit out of the bike. You can see the steam coming from the motor.
I bet he goes through more clutches in one day at the race than I do in a whole year.
Probably.
We put 3 in my bike.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Really?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was upsetting to them that they had to buy 3 clutches.
This guy doesn't know. Taz doesn't know. He has an opinion, sure.
Yes.
And he can have thoughts about a factory bike letting him down. But Savacci had factory bike problems this year. Musquin had a factory bike problem. Hartraft had a bunch of problems. Factory bike, you could maybe not say that was. AP's bike broke.
Yep. Who Christian's bike broke at a round?
Christian's bike broke.
Yeah, it does happen.
It happens.
I don't understand why it would only I wonder in those positions if those guys are trying something different to, why did both of their bikes break but not Dylan's?
Why do we ignore the 3 outdoor titles and the 1 Supercross title that Kawasaki delivered them? Like, the bike performed very well.
Very well.
And so now Taz has an idea that the Kawasaki's no good.
I mean, people have said that
What?
he lost confidence in the motorcycle, and that's why he left.
Okay, that's fine, but that doesn't make it the truth that the bike is no good. That doesn't mean you lose confidence in it, sure, because you're a head case rider, but it doesn't mean the bike isn't good. It means that it was a massive mud race. You ride the shit out of the clutch. They probably told you to lay off the clutch. You didn't lay off the clutch, and the thing got hot and locked up.
Facts.
We already know that Eli is hard on bikes.
Very hard.
Right? We know this. Ken Roczen, not so hard on bikes.
Correct.
So I'm putting all that aside, though. I'm not saying that the Kawasaki let Eli down like Taz here.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm just coming at the fact, hey, man, shit happens.
Yeah.
But how do you write an email like this and just like you believe this? You believe the Kawasaki, despite all the wins and all the outdoor titles, he has 2 DNFs in how many motos, and all of a sudden it's the bike, and we don't look at the body of work that Eli Tomac produced for Kawasaki.
Well, I don't think Eli Tomac's going to blame himself.
That's a separate deal when you're talking about riders.
I know that.
We just talking about
This man is saying he knows the reason why Eli left. Eli's not going to leave because he blames himself. Eli's going to leave because he doesn't trust the motorcycle anymore. He doesn't think it'll make it through 2 mud motos.
No. That is not why he left.
I know that, but that is what Taz
that's
thinks.
What I'm saying. But that's idiotic. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is the fans of our sport. And this is only
It's the fans of every sport, though.
Maybe so. But can we just be a little bit smarter?
I mean, there's
just a little bit smarter. We don't need to be like all the look. I've talked about Disability Island and the carrots. I've done all that. I'm not going to get into that again. But can we just like be smarter fans? Is that okay?
Are you just upset because it's not your viewpoint on it and what you believe to be true?
I like to think, Cade, that this show and all of my shows, I had a long career as a factory mechanic. I've been around a lot of these racers. I offer this to people, some knowledge, some expertise. Then I have you on, Supercross main event guy, Jason Thomas, in the industry as a gear guy now, as an aftermarket company, and then a long career as a privateer. And then I literally have Jake Weimer on, who is a Supercross champion. Like if I don't have the answers, I'm not saying I do, I probably have someone on the phone or someone in studio that also has answers from experience in the sport. And so I'd like to think if you're listening to this show, you're getting the real opinions of people that actually know what's going on. You've never heard anybody on this show say that Kawasaki brakes too much for Eli Tomac. No one has said that.
Yeah.
He wanted to make changes to the motorcycle, suspension and chassis, that they probably wouldn't do, and then he left for a team that would let him do whatever he wants. And the jury will be out on that. I tend to lean towards Kawasaki's mentality. We're like, hey, man, we spoke to the engineers in Japan that designed your frame and chassis, and we're not going to do that because they say that that's not going to work. That's where Kawasaki's coming from. Like, we went down that road, doesn't work, we're not doing it now. We're going to stay in our realm of what we know works because we spoke to the gentleman who engineered this motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
So I lean towards a Kawasaki mindset where they have to tell the rider, hey, man, we got your bike 90% of there. You need to make up the 10%. Mm-hmm. Your motorcycle will never work 100% everywhere. They do not do that. It's not possible.
Totally agree.
So you need to make up that 10% or whatever number you want. I believe Eli and John were like, no, we'll make up that 10% on a bike setup. So we'll see. Maybe they're right. We'll see. But can we just be smarter fans? Is that possible?
I feel like you're shitting on the man for having an opinion on what he thinks.
You can have an opinion. Just make it fucking reasonable, Cade.
I don't feel like the man, he may have gone over the top in his description, but I feel like his point is that he blew the bike up 3 times, though. He blew it up 3 times that year, 2 times at Loretta's.
Where was the other one?
Wasn't it at Loretta's 1?
No, I don't believe so.
I'm pretty sure he blew it up 3 times.
But not at Loretta's?
I don't recall all the facts, but okay. I recall that I believe he blew it up 3 times.
All right.
And, he broke it a lot in Supercross. Remember the rotor incident and some other incidents? I remember many times him in the mechanics area.
He smashed another guy and bent his rotor, yeah.
It happens.
Okay, but how's that the bike's fault?
It's possible.
What's possible?
That it's the bike's fault.
That you hit another guy and you bend a rotor?
I'm just kidding.
Okay. I'm just giving you shit. I want our listeners.
I just think
I want our listeners to be educated fans. That's all I want. I don't want Disability Island people.
I think all the Disability Island people should send you their ideas, each one, in a different email.
Please don't.
So that you can email them back and say, this is a dumb idea.
I don't mean to be arrogant here, but again, myself and my guests have a lot of knowledge on this sport each and every Monday night.
Well, thank you.
And so can we just, If you're a fan, just soak that in and get your opinions on what these smart people say about the sport. It's all I've known for 20 years. I've been in the pits since 1996.
So this email,
Okay.
what is the man's? What is the man saying that why Eli left? It just break it down in
The
your
bike's
words.
no good.
The bike's no good.
The bike's no good.
Okay, that's not completely irreasonable.
No, the bike that doesn't work good. The bike breaks. The bike is not made for Eli. That's what the man is saying. The man is saying, not that the bike doesn't handle for Eli or all of that stuff that is subject to an opinion. He's saying the bike is made shitty.
I don't think that's what he's saying.
Oh my God.